Sup players, and welcome to another video on my channel. I'm ZachTCG, and today's video we are actually going to have the final duel of the King of Games series. I apologize that it has been a long on the way, but yeah, we have finally done the video, so yeah, sit back, grab a snack, and enjoy. So basically, my buddy that is on Blue Eyes won the die roll, and yeah, I would say there's a big difference in these decks. And as you have seen in the title and the thumbnail, we are doing a real Kaiba versus Yugi duel. And basically, guys, well, it depends a lot on the different decks, but I would say there is definitely a big difference in the decks right here. I'm just gonna say that directly here because that is just something that I learned. But yeah. Basically, he started out here. I believe that he's just reading the cards because with these rules of the games, well, there's a little bit of difference in the decks normally that normally would be seen in the real life TCG. But yeah, and yeah, basically, I believe that he's just reading the cards here. But yeah. But basically, he is on a Blue Eyes deck that I have created a long time ago, and with the support of the new Blue Eyes structure deck, I did change it. And I'm on basically Chimera Shining Sarcophagus, so it is a modern day Yugi versus Kaiba. And yeah, my opponent here starts out by normal summoning out the Sage and searching the Maiden. And then after that, utilizing the effect of Maiden to place True Light. Oh no, not yet. He's link summoning into the copy of Spirit Dragon here, and using the effect to search the field spell. And basically, in the beginning of this will basically just be the standard Blue Eyes combo that you know. And yeah, he also normal summons out Kaiba the Legend. I managed to get one copy of him, and after that I decided to just put him in the deck. So yeah. Because I feel like that he is going to be utilized much more in this type of deck. So yeah, basically something that I am really happy that I got my hands on because it definitely gives a good like what's it called, a good form of combo piece to the deck. So yeah, something that I truly enjoy when I build the decks. But yeah, we have Blue Eyes here, and he's utilizing the Maiden here. Some people might be thinking, why didn't he use the Maiden before he summoned out the Blue Eyes? But then again, it depends. Like, he can still utilize the field spells effect and get an additional Blue Eyes into the graveyard. So yeah, it's not really a loss here because, and again, he does have access to Antuner on the field already. So I feel like that might be the reason why he doesn't have why he doesn't utilize the maiden effect yet. But yeah. But yeah, basically here now my opponent does have access to double Spirit Dragon if he wants to, basically. And I will say, out of these decks right now, guys, a little bit spoiler, the Blue Eyes deck is really much more modernized to the meta, so I believe that without a doubt that if it was compromised down to like 40 cards, because right now it's like 60, it's 60 cards because that is the limit that I at least want all my decks when I play with the house rules. That is the limit that I wanted to every deck because I feel like that is more fun and it gives you more opportunities. I also talked with one of my friends about it that I also play the house rules with. We mentioned that when like, of course, like if we play like a 40 card deck, like for example, great example right now is Mitsurugi, for example. Like you only have the Mitsurugi engine to run off, but when you play like 60 cards, there can be more strategies in your deck that is also why that some people bump their decks up to 60 and play way more engines, different kind of engines in it. Like, for example, one of the best examples is Triff Gaming on YouTube. I believe it's the name. Don't hang me up on it. But basically, Triff, the Pendulum Master, he has been seen multiple times playing like 5 different engines inside of the decks that he plays. Which again, well, it works for him, that not gonna lie. In my opinion, I would probably not do that. Um, Mostly because that I do like the decks more that I play when there's only like limited options of engines. Like the most amount of engines that I've ever played inside of a deck is 3 engines. So yeah, and that is just enough in my opinion. It gets a little bit too much when you play like 5 different engines in your deck, except for when the deck itself and the engines can make the same import. Like, for example, in my case, I love to play Black Wings. I've not been doing it lately because of different meta decks that I wanted to try out, like Kultun and Vanquish Old Canine, that I also took with me to open. I already talked about this, and all the videos are out. So yeah, basically this video was. I finally got the chance to edit this video after it because I decided to do it when I edited all of the open videos. So yeah. So basically this video is going to be edited after I've uploaded the open videos. But yeah, my opponent passed on Stardust Zephyr Dragon and the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon here, alongside with a normal Blue Eyes and 4 random cards set face down. And that is why I kind of sometimes like the rules and also hate the rules that you're only allowed to play 1 spell from the hand once per turn. But yeah. And I started out here by activating Maiden's Effect, or not Maiden's Effect, what am I talking about? I summoned out Nightmare Princess here by discarding Gold Sarcophagus, I believe it's the card that I discard to summon her out. And on summon, I'm going to use the effect to search an illusion monster. And against that board, it is kinda rough to go into. But my opponent allowed it, even though that he has like 2 negates on the field, plus potentially some negates set face down. So yeah, basically I was lucky enough to get my search here. And then we have Cornfield Codal on the field now. Which I will say, Cornfield Codal, the Chimera engine inside of the Shiny Sarcophagus deck is really fun to play. And my version is just more like a modernized version of Yugi's deck. Like, for example, before I smacked the deck together, I was playing a Dark Side of Dimension version of Yugi's deck. So all of his cards from back then, I played in one deck. I literally just built it, and that would also be the same case here. But then I decided to upgrade both decks a lot. Both the Chimera deck into the Shiny Sarcophagus version and also the Blue Eyes White Dragon deck, which is not playing any other engine. Like, there's no Primite, for example, inside of the deck. Maybe I will upgrade it after Red 5 comes out. I don't know. But right now, it's just a pure Blue Eyes version. The pure Blue Eyes White Dragon deck. Which, in my opinion, is just a fun version of the deck. I know the Primite stuff is really good in the deck, but yeah. And here it's still my turn, so I normally summon out the Gadget Trio here, allowing me to search Shiny Sarcophagus or a spell trap that mentions it. And to be fair, my hand basically here was Darkwater. Like, it was really a bad hand. Going into this end board, at least, because I believe that I opened Chimera Fusion as well, which is one of the set cards. And yeah, basically it's not doing enough here. Not against, like, for example, he has 2 negates on his field that are visible. I have no ideas about the set cards here. Oh no, I still have the Chimera Fusion in hand. I also have Monster Reborn, so I could reborn back one of the monsters that he had in the what's it called in the graveyard. He could basically he could basically what's it called negate it if I activate it. So that is the problem there. And I believe that we just talk about I don't know how it's worded, the cards. I believe that was probably what we talked about. It's a long time since we recorded this. I'm sorry, guys. Like I believe it's like 2 months ago or something like that. It's a really old video that has just been sitting in my camera for such a long time, which basically have been, yeah, I don't know why I haven't been uploading it. Like it's not like it's hard work to upload and edit it because it's like only around 20 minutes of video recording. So yeah. But yeah, basically I believe that I set my Chimera Fusion back face down on the field here, and the trap card that I have here is the Dimension Mirage, I believe is the name. Something like that. Or anything in particular. One of the trap cards that Yugi were using in Dark Side of Dimension, the movie right there. Because I feel like it's still pretty fun. Pretty fun way to win you a duel. Not in modernized version, of course, because then that would not be able to do something. But yeah, I'm using my Monster Reborn here, targeting my Nightmare Princess, I believe. And my opponent responds with Twin Twisters. And with the rules that we're playing with the same rules, like, for example, MST negates. So basically, when a card is destroyed, well, the effect of the card is also negated. So, MST rules. If you know, you know. But yeah. And basically, around here, I'm just passing over to my opponent on a Gadget Trio, Chimera Fusion, and I cannot remember the other card that I set face down. And yeah, I also believe that my opponent is resolving the White Stone of Ancients effect here to summon a Blue Eyes monster from his deck. Something like that. Or maybe... No, I think he activated Wishes... Not Wishes with Eyes of Blue. I believe that he activated True Light to set a spell trap to his side of the field. And then he's... Now I believe that he's utilizing the White Stone of Ancients effect here to summon out a Blue Eyes monster. And one of the combos that I like about the Blue Eyes deck that I made is fairly, yeah, you could also summon out Jet, but I'm also utilizing cards like Abyss Dragon for the Chaos Max play, so yeah. Also one of my favorite Blue Eyes monsters. So yeah. Really great. I really enjoy playing Blue Eyes sometimes. You can say I'm just a huge sucker for the old school decks, like, and that is also why I have so many different old school decks. So yeah, and also why I'm also, what can you call it? Kind of I'm just a bird. I like when what's it called? When people that I know from different sides of my country just ask you if I'm based and play Black Wings to the events that I go to. Sadly, that wasn't the case at Open. Maybe I should just have done it, and that was something that did bite me in my butt when I was done for the event. Maybe I would have been doing much more differently if I was playing the birds. But sadly, I haven't had any time to practice with the Blackwing deck. So yeah, that was most likely the whole reason and why I took a different deck with me. But yeah. And basically here, guys, I believe that I cannot remember if my opponent attacks me here. And that yeah, I'm just looking at my face down cards here. And yeah, I believe this is a Dark Magician Mirror Force, something like that. And the sad part is that I believe that at this point, none of my cards will actually do anything. Like, none of my cards will do anything at this point. Because the trap card cannot be activated because I don't have Shining Sarcophagus out on the field. And Chimera Fusion cannot be activated, I believe, because I don't have the materials in my hand. So I'm pretty screwed at this point. One of the things that I might be thinking about were kinda... I actually don't know if I'm doing it in the duel here, but you could argue that I could activate it and attempt to go into Chimera, or not Chimera Fusion, the Guardian Chimera Fusion. And that might also be what I'm thinking about here, because it is maybe something that I can utilize to, save me from this and save me in this duel. But the problem is that, again, my opponent does have a bunch of negates. Here he has this Nana Sapphire Dragon, he has Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon here, he potentially has something set face down as well. So yeah, and here he activates Ultimate Fusion to shuffle back cards. And he shuffles back, I don't know if he, what does he shuffle back here? Shuffles back all 3 blue ices to summon out the big scary one, and then he, in response, activates Majesty to pop all 3 cards. And yeah, that is basically just everything for that game, in my opinion. I know he summons out the big scary Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, or the... I cannot remember the name of this, but it's not the... It is one of the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragons, but yeah. Basically, he moves towards his battle phase here, I believe, because he has much more than game on field here. Like, he has the Ultimate Spirit Dragon, he has Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, and he has Stardust Sapphire Dragon. So basically, it's enough for a game here. Even though that he doesn't have the ability to, win with other cards. But yeah, guys, that's basically everything for this video, and I hope you enjoyed. Peace out.